Comic Book Savant, Comic Sense, Trade Review. Welcome back to the Comic Book Savant podcast. I'm your host, James Harris. This episode is going to be a Comic Sense Trade Review episode where we're going to be going over Star Wars Age of Republic villains. This is published by Marvel Comics. Retails for $8.99, has a page count of 127 pages, written by Jody Hauser, artwork done by Luke Ross and Carlos Gomez, colorist on the book are Java Targala and Dono Sanchez Almara, and this book collects Star Wars Age of Republic, Count Dooku, Darth Maul, General Grievous, Jango Fett, material from Star Wars Age of Republic special. And the breakdown is as follows. This is the age of Star Wars, an epic series of adventures that unite favorite characters from all three trilogies, and we're bringing on the bad guys, shining a light on the Old Republic's darkest figures, starting with Darth Maul, a living weapon of rage. Maul lurks in Coruscant's shadows, waiting to strike against the Jedi Order, but the bloodthirsty Sith Lord questions his methodical master's wishes. Could Maul have walked another path, or was he always fated to follow this dark road? Meanwhile, Count Dooku begins laying the groundwork for the convening Darth Sidious. The fearsome separatist General Grievous strikes. Jango Fett's reputation as the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy precedes him as he joins a crew that seems like a simple job, and delve deep into the dark side of Asajj Ventress. And if you're unfamiliar with the Age of series, they did 3 series based on the 3 trilogies that can make up the Skywalker saga. So we start with the Age of the Old Republic, Age of the Rebellion, and then Age of the Resistance. So if you're a fan of this, the prequel series, as well as the Clone Wars animated series, this is the books you want to pick up. They do one for the villains, one collection for the villains, and one for the heroes. I don't know which review you'll hear first, because I did cover both books, the trade covering the heroes and the trade covering the villains for the Age of Republic. Jody Hauser writes both, is the main writer on both during this age of stories. Also, one thing, when I originally purchased these and bought these, they were individual trades. The individual one-shots were collected in these trades. Again, one for the heroes and another for the villains. But then they did a overall hardcover that collects all of that ages books in one hardcover or one collection, and it's just Star Wars Age of the Republic. It's a little bit pricier, but depending on where you can find these books, it's the best bet. If you're going to commit and want to read both sides of the story, you might want to pick up just the overall hardcover, the overall collection called Age of the Republic, that has the villains trade as well as the heroes trade consistent in it, because probably on sale you might save or pay the same as getting the 2 books individually. So you probably would want to go. I learned that after I bought them and read them, that they came out shortly thereafter. So if I would have known, I just would have bought the singular collections outside of the individual. But you probably save a few bucks doing it the way I just recommended. But in this book, I feel like Jody Hauser has done a good job with handling the different characters, since she's the primary writer on both of the, or all of the individual one-shots that can make up these 2 trades. In my personal opinion, I see, it feels to me that she had a better handle on the hero side than she does the villain side, but I'll go into more detail with that when you hear the hero trade review. I talk about that. But she does a good job in each of these individual one-shots, highlighting the individual characters, in each of their specific stories, which is a feat because not all writers are that versatile to be able to do that. But I just feel like in general she had a better grasp on the voices of the individual heroes than per se she did with the villains for me, in my personal opinion. Um, and I've been seeing Hauser's name associated with Star Wars comics more and more recently, and I feel like she's becoming that a very consistent writer. Next to like Charles Soule, which is amassed a laundry list of Star Wars credits on the Marvel side, over the past, 5 or so years, and it just keeps getting better. And now I can throw her name in that mix as one of those, really, good writers in the Star Wars space. When I see her name on something, I can be confident that it's going to be, on par to something with Charles Soule, that I can pick it up just based on that name recognition, that I know she's going to write a good story. I think out of this particular collection, I think my favorite stories are the Count Dooku story and Jango Fett one, far more than the others. Not saying that they're bad by any sense, but those two stood out for sure out of the ones that have been covered. We've seen a lot of, it's been, even if you go back to the Dark Horse days where Darth Maul had got multiple 4-issue limited series and things like that. Some of those characters been covered, and they've kind of retread the same information or the same themes. It's not too much new. You're just expanding on certain themes that were already established. But for me, because I didn't read all the Dark Horse stuff, that these two, for these characters, I haven't seen as much and different stories covered, and I was always curious about them, so they really resonated with me and caught my attention more based on that. Also, Luke Ross' artwork is serviceable. He's always been a solid artist that he delivers, great visual content and solid storytelling overall. I would say he's a good hand. His artwork for me can fluctuate, and it can be really dynamic, but then it's at times it like just mellows out, and it's not bad. It's not amazing either. It's consistent. It's consistently consistent. It's nothing to write home about. But he does a consistent job, and he's a competent storyteller. So it's not anything that pulls you away from the book at all, but it's nothing that's like, wow, this is amazing either. Which, everything can't be that in every book, and he's doing over all these different one shots. So I feel like he's definitely does a good job with throughout the art chores on the book. I feel like the overall creative team still delivers a solid read for the diehard Star Wars fan that is like myself, like heavily into the history and the lore of the universe and its characters. That's kind of my draw to Star Wars. It's like my draw to comics. I love the overarching, interconnected storytelling and these deep dives into these individual characters that maybe you might saw just a glimpse or a small glimpse through these series of movies or shows, but to deep dive in to focus on that one individual character and really focus on their motivations and their motivations and their desires that push them through to make the decisions and choices they've made, to what goes into the makeup of making them in this case the villain that they are. Overall, I would have to say, rating this, I would give this a 7.25 out of 10. It's a good read. And like I said, I feel like these books serve as a great companion piece to the films or the television shows. So, if you're just into one particular character, you can pick that up and get a little bit more insight into that one individual character. But overall, I feel like it works well. Like I said, if you're going to get the villains, trade paperback to get that, or just get the overall collection. So you get part you get a point of view from the hero's side as well as the villain side, and it can kind of, once you get these deeper dives of individual characters, you can see again it comes from a certain point of view of if they're truly a villain and maybe horrific things happen to power them to decide to go to dark, or vice versa on the light. So again, I feel like this is like a cool take on something they did to kind of expand the universe, and and kind of go deeper into these characters that they couldn't per se do in the movie or in individual TV shows, for sure. So definitely, if you're a Star Wars fan, I feel like these trades are worth picking up and reading. And they go on sale. A lot of, if buy these books, especially for me, I'm digital only at this point. I pick these books up. Star Wars stuff goes on sale constantly throughout the year. I primarily buy my books through Comixology. I would say, at this point, because I've been on that platform for 5-6 ish years, I think, and I've been on Comixology Unlimited for maybe like the past like 3 or so years, I think, when they really opened up Comixology Unlimited as a service. So I think I've been on it for the past like 3 years or so at least, or going on that. They always have sales. Like, I would say Star Wars sales sprout up at least big ones 4 or 5 times a year minimum. Like, they have them pretty consistently. So if you wait around till those sales come out, you can save even more picking up, these books as well. And that's what I tend to do. Wait till it's a sale, and I pick them up, and then I take my time reading through them. But I will be covering the other ages. It's all, like I said, you, at this point, by the time you hear this, you will either have already heard the Heroes review, of Age of Republic. So then we'll move on to the Age of the Rebellion, that would cover the original trilogy of movies, and then we get the Age of the Resistance, which covers the sequel series of movies. So I will spread them out over time. So, but I have purchased them all and have them all. So it's just to read and do the reviews on. So let me know if you enjoy these reviews. Let me know if you have picked this up and what were your thoughts on it as well. You can hit me up. You can always reach me at comicbooksavant at gmail.com. You can go directly to the website, comicbooksavant.com. You can email me through the website as well. Also, you can hit me up on social media at Comic Book Savant on Instagram and Twitter. Also, we have a Facebook group. You can get, can't even remember the name of the URL for the Facebook group, but if you go to my Facebook page, it's facebook.com/Comic Book Savant, all one word. It's a link right on the homepage of my Facebook page to the group. You answer like 3 questions, you'll get right into the group. So definitely, if you have a moment to do that, and if you'd like to support the work I do, you can head over to Patreon at patreon.com/Comic Book Savant, and you can check that out there. But that's all I have for you guys for this episode. I hope everyone's staying safe out there. Until next time, you guys stay safe, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.